This is Marketing by Seth Godin. This book talks about how marketing has changed in the past few years. Now, instead of just focusing on making money, successful marketing is about helping others. It's about creating honest stories that people will want to hear and then offering solutions and opportunities to people. This type of marketing is different from the shouting, hustling, and coercion that used to be common in marketing. Now, successful marketing is about serving others and helping them reach their goals. Marketing is about creating something that people will want, telling a story that matches the people who will be interested in it, and spreading the word so that as many people as possible can benefit from it. Marketing is all around us, and it's a big part of our lives. We learn to read and do things in response to what marketers have put in front of us. Marketing has been done to us for a long time, so we take it for granted. We need to use marketing to make change happen and to help people we care about. Not mass, not spam, not shameful. In the early days of marketing, companies would use advertising to try to get their products in the public's eye. However, with the advent of the internet, this is no longer an effective way to market. The internet feels like a vast, free media playground, a place where all your ideas deserve to be seen by just about everyone. It's a billion tiny whispers, an endless series of selfish conversations that rarely include you or the work you do. Now, effective marketing involves creating a relationship with the consumer and helping them solve their problems. Marketing involves very little in the way of shouting, hustling, or coercion. It's a chance to serve, instead. Ads are a trap that keeps us from building a useful story. For a long time, the most efficient way for a commercial enterprise to make large-scale change was simple: buy ads. Ads worked. Ads were a bargain. Ads paid for themselves. Besides, they were fun to make. You could buy a lot all at once. They made you, or your brand, a little famous. And they were reliable. Money spent equaled sales made. But that's not marketing anymore. And it doesn't work, not anymore. Marketing is a way to get the word out about your product or service. It can be done shamelessly or effectively. Effective marketing is about understanding your customers' worldviews and desires and connecting with them in a way that makes them want to be part of your product or service. Marketing involves creating honest stories that resonate and spread. When our ideas spread, we change the culture. The marketer learns to see. Marketing is the process of creating, communicating, and delivering a product or service to a target market. It involves creating an idea that people will care about, designing a product or service that is beneficial to a small subset of people, and spreading the word about the product or service. Marketers know that committed, creative people can change the world. They also know that you can make more change than you can imagine if you focus on your intentions. Change is best made when everyone is on the same page. Human beings tell themselves stories that are completely true to themselves, and it's foolish to try to persuade them otherwise. Stereotyped groups often make similar decisions based on their perceived status and other needs. What you say is not nearly as important as what others say about you. Marketing changes people through stories, connections, and experience. People don't want what you make, they want what it will do for them. They want the way it will make them feel. And there aren't that many feelings to choose from. Marketing is all about creating connections with people and using stories and experiences to create emotional resonance. The goal is to create experiences that will bring people closer to what you are selling and influence people's irrational desires in a way that is beneficial to both you and your customers. The smallest viable market. What change are you trying to make? It's a simple question, but a loaded one, because it implies that you're responsible. You are an actor with intent, an agent of change, a human being working hard to change other human beings. A marketer makes a promise to the people they are trying to change, usually through advertising or some other form of communication, to induce them to take an action. The promise might be something as simple as, if you buy this product, you will be happy, or it might be something more complex, such as, if you listen to our message, you will discover a new way of life. The relentless pursuit of mass will make you boring because mass means average, it means the center of the curve, and it requires you to offend no one and satisfy everyone. It will lead to compromises and generalizations. Begin instead with the smallest viable market. What's the minimum number of people you would need to influence to make it worth the effort? In search of better. Human beings are not completely rational when it comes to making buying decisions, and often base decisions on emotional rather than rational factors. Marketers must find ways of appealing to both rational and emotional buyers to be successful. The early adopters crave the new and are addicted to it. They are different from adapters because adapters figure out how to get along with the new, while early adopters get a thrill from discovery, enjoy the tension of "this might not work," and get pleasure from bragging about their discoveries. A good marketer is curious about other people and their dreams and beliefs and has the humility to embrace the lack of attention that her audience wrestles with every day. People are not eager to pay you attention, but if you do your job right, enough people will. Beyond commodities. Marketing is about connecting with people who need or want what you have to offer and helping them see the potential for improvement in their lives. Effective marketers start by understanding the problem their target audience is trying to solve and finding a way to make a difference. Marketing is the act of engaging with people to sell them something. There is a myth that what people want is to be understood, rather than simply appealed to. The author argues the best way to market to people is to be authentic and to reserve the best version of the work for those whom we seek to serve. If we are not authentic, we are not doing our best work. If you ask people, you probably won't find what you're looking for. You certainly won't find a breakthrough. It's our job to watch people, figure out what they dream of, and then create a transaction that can deliver that feeling. When somebody tries to sell something, they are selling an emotional product instead of a physical one. The author goes on to say that most people who try to sell something do it by trying to get the person they are selling to feel a certain way, and that the most important thing a broker or any other salesperson can do is find what the person wants and make sure that they feel good about it. Always test. The author says that it's okay to be wrong sometimes because you can always change your mind. You should always be testing your products or services to make sure that they are the best that they can be. If you make something that is too boring, people will not want to buy it. You need to be creative and try to find new ways to make your products or services interesting. When it comes to making money, it's important to do things that will have a high return on investment. One way to do this is to be radical in your originality and to scrapbook your ideas. When it comes to designing a website, email campaign, or new product, you can break it down into its essential parts and rebuild it in a new, more interesting way. Seek the smallest viable market. The virtuous cycle is a series of positive interactions that lead to growth. The network effects are the effects that occur when more people join in on the activity, making it even more valuable. Dead-end customers are not worth the trouble, as they can damage the cycle. Silent customers are those who are not using the product or service, which can also damage the cycle. Jealous customers are those who think that others are using the product or service better than they are, which can also damage the cycle. You need to build something that works better when it gets spread to create a positive cycle. Trust and tension create forward motion. A pattern interrupt is when you introduce a new product or idea into a situation where it clashes with the existing patterns. This can be a challenging tactic because it often requires a lot of energy and effort to convince someone to change their behavior. When life interferes, new patterns are established. This is why it's so profitable to market to new dads, engaged women, and people who have recently moved. They don't have a pattern to match, so it's all an interruption. On the other hand, the purchasing manager at a typical organization has been taught that matching the pattern is the best way to keep a steady job with no surprises. The best time to market a new business is when the platform is brand new. When you market to someone who doesn't have a pattern yet, you don't have to persuade them that their old choices were mistakes. Marketing a product or service that requires a change in behavior or an interruption of an established pattern can be very difficult, as the person resisting the change has a powerful selfish reason to resist. However, when social tension is applied, this traction causes everyone who was part of the old network you're supplanting to reconsider their allegiance. If you feel like you're coercing people, manipulating them, or causing them to be afraid, you're probably doing it wrong. But tension is different. Tension is something we can do precisely because we care about those we seek to serve. Status and worldview. People have different levels of status, and it's relative to others. Status is based on how people perceive you, and it can change depending on the situation. People try to maintain their status, and it has a lot of inertia. Status is learned, and people's beliefs about status start early. Shame is a status killer because it can undermine someone's sense of relative status. People adjust their status based on the situation, and when you bring your work to the market, nothing is considered before status roles. Different people have different stories, which shape their worldviews. Different worldviews involve different ways of measuring status. For example, one person might care about winning, while another might care about being on the same team as the person who eats first. And, finally, different worldviews involve different ways of getting pleasure. Reaching the right people. The business plan should have 5 sections: truth, assertions, alternatives, people, and money. The truth section should describe the current world and how the company plans to change it. The assertion section should describe how the company plans to achieve its goals. The alternative section should describe how the company plans to survive if its goals don't work out. The people section should describe the people behind the company, their skills, and their attitudes. The money section should describe the finances of the company. The 3 elements of the magic of online advertising are that it can reach people more precisely, instantly, and measurably than ever before. However, this magic is not always effective because people are suspicious of advertising and it is not the right answer for everyone. You didn't pay the recipient to run that ad, but you want the recipient to pay you with their attention. So you're ignored. Brand marketing is the use of advertising to create a relationship with a customer, while direct marketing is the use of advertising to generate sales. Direct marketing is more action-oriented, while brand marketing is more culturally oriented. Direct marketing is more measurable, while brand marketing is not. If you are using direct marketing, you need to measure everything to be sure it is effective. If you are using brand marketing, be patient and focus on the culture instead. Frequency. People don't remember what they read, hear, or see, they remember what they do. We remember the things we see over and over again, and the things that happen frequently are the easiest to remember. We remember things we trust, and marketers need to remember this to create a trustworthy brand. Lots of people start a project. They give a talk a few times, maybe even on the TED stage, and then they go off to do the next thing. They launch a new freelance business, get a few clients, then it sputters and they quit. Or they open a company, raise money and spend it fast, hitting the wall just before the good stuff happens. The market has been trained to associate frequency with trust. If you quit right in the middle of building that frequency, it's no wonder you never got a chance to earn the trust. Pricing. Pricing is a marketing tool, not simply a way to get money eventually. You're going to have to tell people how much you're charging for your services and products. There are 2 key things to keep in mind about pricing. Marketing changes your pricing. Pricing changes your marketing. The first thing to remember about pricing is that it is a way to communicate to consumers what your services and products are worth. When setting prices, it is important to consider the extremes you have claimed as part of your positioning. For example, if you are the cheapest wine on the menu, you should not charge too much, as this will make you seem cheap. On the other hand, if you are the most expensive wine on the menu, this will make you seem too expensive. Ultimately, pricing should be aligned with the story you are telling your customers. People are more likely to want to trust someone before investing money or time if the transaction is risky, but this dissonance often causes people to invent a feeling of trust. Outward bound helps people become more aligned with the group and change their behavior to exert emotional labor to create a more open relationship with the customer. This is why high-end restaurants and hotels can survive bad reviews. The internet thrives on affiliation, but the forces that prefer dominion over affiliation see this as a threat, and they've created waves of distrust around the voices and channels that we built our cultural trust around. This has led to a moment in time where more people are connected, but fewer are trusted. The only way to earn trust is through action, and the best way to do that is through storytelling. Publicity and public relations help people become well-known and trusted. In our culture, people become famous if others know about them. The goal is not to get as much publicity as possible, but to be known by the smallest viable audience. Public relations and publicity are important, but public relations are more important. The truth is that most brands that matter, and most organizations that thrive, are primed by advertising but built by good marketing. They grow because users evangelize to their friends. They grow because they are living entities, offering ever more value to the communities they serve. They grow because they find tribes that coalesce around the cultural change they're able to produce. Finally, you can produce better by serving the people you market to. Turning them from customers to students. Gaining enrollment. Teaching. Connecting. Step by step, drip by drip. End of the summary. Thanks for listening.